Greetings everyone, and welcome to your How to Create a Customer Story video. My name's Sean, and I'm going to be helping guide you through the process of creating your own customer story video from your already filled out EDP customer story outline. You should already have your handout, which is in the Step 3 Create a Customer Story Video wiki, but now we need the template. So clicking on the PowerPoint video template opens up a light box and allows you to click Download and Save As. You can choose to save the file here. If you don't have the Save As option, you could do that in your PowerPoint itself by going to File, Save As. You want to make sure you do this so you don't overwrite the template in case you need to make changes. I'm just going to change my name to Practice. Mine automatically goes to my workshop. You can of course choose to save yours anywhere you'd like, just as long as you can find it easily. With the PowerPoint open, let's start by adjusting our view. So I'm going to go to Home, Select, Selection Pane. This opens up this side panel so that I can see all of the different elements that are already named in my presentation. It has my header, has my customer's name, the department header, etc. If you don't want an object on your screen, click on that object and you can hide it. If you want to make sure you don't accidentally edit something, you can always lock it down. Now that I have my view ready, I need to get the structure ready for the PowerPoint. And I want to do this first so that I understand the flow of my content. And since we already have our content outlined, this shouldn't be too difficult. So we only had two main challenges, and the solution was summed up in these two paragraphs. Our goals were outlined, but our outcomes, we had a lot more outcomes than are listed. So I'm going to get a new slide in here under the outcomes section. So I can either add a new slide up here by going to outcomes and choosing one. Or if I like the way one already appears and I just want to modify it a little bit, I can right click on the slide and duplicate slide. Now I want to start integrating the information. The best way to integrate information is to already have it written out in your outline, to copy the text, selecting all the text, right-clicking, and clicking Keep Text Only. Doing this will keep the font and the font size for consistency. Highlight, replace headings, Control B, or clicking bold to make it bold. Let's say I want to make the font prettier, but still stay in the guidelines for the template. I'll highlight again, change the text to a recently used color. If the color recently used is not shown up, not to worry, we can use the eyedropper and just go up here to our solutions, and that will give you the same color. Additionally, for the purple, you can use the eyedropper and get some more UW colors. I would like to also call out that if you need any more text boxes, I would encourage you to copy and paste text that's already there. I can press Control C and Control V to copy and paste. I can click Control and just start dragging and it'll paste it for me. And you'll see that the animation is already added. I would discourage you from adding any new text boxes, but if you would like to add a new text box or new image instead of copying and pasting, when you do so, make sure it has animation. So I'm going to put in text, and to give it the same animation as these other objects, I'm going to place it where I want it to be. I'm going to click on another object that has similar animation, go to my animations pane, click on the animation painter, and click on my object. Now it has the same animation as the rest of the objects. And let's say I wanted to change an image, but I don't really have any images readily available. Let's change this icon. I'm going to click twice so that it selects this particular picture because this is in a group, as we can see from our selection pane. I'm going to right click on the icon, go to Change Graphic, and I'm going to pull from icons that are already free and available to me. If I know the kind of image I'm looking for, I can start typing it in and it will automatically, without me pressing enter, pull up a list of icons that match that description. Let's choose this one, click Insert. Let's do one more. Change graphic from icons. Let's do people. And since I did not spell people right, nothing showed up. You want to make sure that your keywords are not only spelled right, but you'll notice that it's not as smart as a lot of search engines. So if you're not finding a specific word, try to choose something a little more general. Click on it, and I'm going to insert in a second, but I wanted to show you, we also have cutout people by name. We have stickers, illustrations, cartoon people, and it's a good idea to stay consistent with your style of image. If you're using live people, you don't also want to use cartoon people. I find a good match is icons and cutout people. To modify one of these icons, click on it. Again, make sure you're clicking on the individual image, not the group, and you can change the fill. Try to stay consistent with your coloring. These are matte colors. They're not pastels, so they're a little muted. So I want to stay with that throughout my presentation. Something like this might look a little strange. It's to your preference, but you just want to make sure you're consistent throughout the presentation. I would choose a little more of a muted color than that brighter one for consistency in color, unless you're trying to accent as separate. Once all of your content is filled out, images are edited, headings edited, text is edited, it's time to work on your audio. This is where I'm going to have my audio script for when I do my recordings. I have it on each slide so that it's easy to record. First, I don't see any notes over here. I don't have my selection pane, so let's open up the notes first. I'm going to go to View and click Notes. So I'm going to go to Home, Select, Selection pane. Let's go ahead and insert that audio. Insert. Audio. And I don't have anything recorded yet, so I'm going to record it in real time. I'm going to click the Record button. I'm going to change the name. Slide 1 narration. When I'm ready, click Record. I didn't say anything. I don't really like that. Let's try it again. You'll see how it starts over. Okay, now I'm ready. Welcome to the Enterprise Data Platformers customer story for the College of Education, featuring our web developer, Paul Hnisko. Let's play it back, see what it sounds like. Welcome to the Enterprise Data Platformers customer story for the College of Education, featuring our web developer, Paul Hnisko. If I go to the animations pane, I'll see that it's at the very bottom and set to start on click. Well, I don't want it to start on click because this is going to be a video. So I'm going to change that to with previous. And since it jumps down to the with previous of the animations that are already there, I need to drag it to the top. Now it will start automatically when the slide starts at the very beginning. So be sure when you add your audio that you change the name, open the animations pane, move it to the top, and then if I go to playback, I can make sure it's hidden during the show, but just for safety measures, I'm going to get in the habit of moving it off to the side. That way I don't forget. I want to make sure the volume is set to high, and I'm going to check the settings. I'm going to click the down arrow from the animation pane and go to Effect Options. This is showing me that on the first slide, it's playing from the beginning, and it stops after the current slide. Press OK. And if I click on the audio, I also have a new set of ribbons. If I click the playback ribbon, I can see my volume. If I click the trim audio, I can remove any of that space from the beginning and from the end if I'd like. And I'll see the duration is 8.5 seconds. So I'm going to put in my notes 8.5 seconds. I'll need this information for later when I set up the transitions. Now, if I'm inserting music background, I'll follow the same steps, insert, audio, but I'm going to do audio from my PC. I already have a folder ready with some saved audio. This audio is not copyrighted, so I know it's safe to use. Click Insert, move it off to the side, move it to the top, make sure the animation is set to start with previous, and I'm going to double click this time to change the name, but I have to do that from the selection pane. Double click, Control A, background music. So I have my background music starting the same time as the audio. I have it at the beginning of the animation, so it starts at the beginning of the slide. And it's starting with previous, so there doesn't need to be any interaction to start the video. But won't the background music drown out the audio, the narration? So let's make sure we lower the background music. Clicking on the icon, going to playback. I want to make sure that my volume is set to low, because again, it's background music, so it should be in the background. I also want to modify it so that it doesn't end after this slide. So I'm going to go to Effect Options, and I want it to stop after my 10th slide, because I can see at the bottom left-hand corner, I have 10 slides in this presentation. And since we already did our outline, our structure with all the slides, there won't be any more slides added. All right, that's some pretty good background music, and it plays automatically. If it's still too loud, you can adjust the volume here. I'm going to use Control back wheel to zoom out a little bit, hover over the icon, and go down to hover over the speaker. I'm going to drag it down a little bit more. Check my narration audio. If it's too low, I can raise that up even still higher. Let's preview this. Click on Animations and Preview. Welcome to the Enterprise Data Platformers customer story for the College of Education, featuring our web developer, Paul Hnisko. Okay, I'm happy with that. Maybe I want the audio to come in a little later, so I'm going to put that in front of the background audio and give it a little delay. And since all of these animations are set to begin with previous, it's not going to affect any of their timing. So how do we get this to view like it would a video? Well, this is already set up, but if it's not, we can go to Transitions, select Morph, and Apply to All. This will make all of your transitions be the same. If you want to preview it, just click on the transition, and it'll show you what that preview looks like. Now, my audio is 8.5 seconds long. The transition for this slide is 10 seconds. That's pretty decent, but let's say I added audio for the challenges slide that was maybe 15 seconds long. If that's the case, I don't want my slide to transition and advance after 10 seconds. So I'll click in here, let's just do 16, press enter. Now this slide will transition to the next one. It will advance to the next one, advanced slide, after 16 seconds. And I am not going to apply this to all because that would apply to all of my slides. So I'll just go through each slide, adjust it according to my audio notes, and do this for each of your content slides. You don't need to do this for the last slide. Now, before I publish, I want to preview, make sure everything looks and feels smooth and is exactly how I want it. I could just press F5 or click this button to start from beginning, or we can go to slideshow and play from beginning here. Welcome to the Enterprise Data Platformers customer story for the College of Education, featuring our web developer, Paul Hnisko. And then, of course, the next slide's audio would begin. You want to make sure all of this is set up and you preview all of the slides before you export. Once I've previewed and made any needed adjustments, I'm going to go to File, Export, Create Video, and it automatically has Full HD 1080p and use the recorded timings and narrations. So we're going to click Create Video, and you have a choice between MPEG 4 video or Windows Media Video. We're going to use the MPEG for video. And I'm going to give my video a recognizable name and version number. Versioning is very important so that we make any changes, we know which file we're working with. I'm going to click Export. And you'll notice at the bottom of your screen that it's starting its exporting process. And it'll have a progress bar to show you how far along the video has come. Once your video is complete, it'll show exported. Clicking here will let you know it's exported successfully. And clicking this pop-out box will take you directly to your video. Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to seeing your own customer story videos.